Today, I'm going to give you a couple of things that you can do to get better reviews as a professional musician and complete projects faster at the same time. So right now, projects might be taking you quite a long time, and also you might have quite a frustrating process going on when working with clients. Maybe you've got a lot of back and forth emailing, a lot of questions are being asked to you, and just that's making projects take forever. You're spending more time in your inbox, more time on the admin than actually doing what you love, doing the projects, doing the recording or whatever it is you're doing as a musician. And this, of course, is very frustrating. It takes the fun away from what you do, takes the enjoyment away from playing music, and we don't want that for you. I've had some terrible projects myself in the past where I've not communicated things as well as I should have done, and that's caused projects to drag along and to take the fun out of doing it. And ultimately, that leaves clients leaving not 100% satisfied because that rubs onto them as well. However, since learning these systems, things have been great in my business and every single client leaves 100% satisfied and every project I do is a joy to work on. So with that being said, here are the two ways that you can make your clients happier, get better reviews and complete projects faster. So before working with a client, you are ultimately responsible for the communication, for them knowing and understanding everything about the project. If clients are coming to you and asking you a lot of questions, or if you're having squabbles later in the project because you haven't communicated something, that is down to you. You need to take responsibility for that and come up with a way to fix this. And that you can do through quote forms. So if you're just sending a price to people at the minute, people are asking you questions through email like what are your rates, when's your availability, and you simply just reply to them with a simple email and start the project from there, that is a dangerous game to play. Instead, if you send people a quote form, a simple PDF, just outlining the scope of the project, how many songs there are, the price, your terms, about refunds, delivery times, what's included, what's not included. If you can send them all that information in a PDF, that prevents a lot of questions having to be asked in the future. Everything is all outlined from the beginning, and that lets you get on with your project quicker and prevents any future squabbles, any future confusion come the end of the project. So the first thing you need to include on your quote form is the number of songs or the number of lessons or the number of shows that you're doing for a band. That is a very simple thing to outline, but something that needs to be stated because it's easy for you to phone somebody up and say, I'll do X amount of songs for you, and that is not recorded anywhere. Then further down the line, that artist or that client thinks that you're going to do more. They say that they think that you said you was going to do more, but there's no proof of that. Then you don't really have a leg to stand on, and that's going to make that client leave with a really sour taste in his or her mouth. A very powerful thing to include as well is both what's included and what's not included. Sometimes it can be easy for clients to assume that if you're providing a certain service, that they will get something else with that. So for example, if you are providing drum quantization like I do in my own business, then some clients just expect already that they can send you multiple takes and you are going to comp down the best takes for them. Unless you state that comping is not included in that service, then clients may just assume that's included. And further down the line, when they expect that and you haven't said that that is not included, then that client is going to be pissed off that they haven't got what they expected. So it's best for you to just outline exactly what's included in your services and exactly what's not included as well. Another big one is delivery time as well, especially if you're working with audio files. You need to state a delivery time, give people a rough idea of when they can expect their files and their product back. This doesn't have to be an exact date, and personally I would always add a few extra days on there just to give yourself some leeway and just to make it easier for you to over-deliver and send files back quicker than they expect. A refund policy is also important to include on there. If you do offer refunds, if you do offer revisions as well, then please include all the information on your quote forms. That makes that client understand what they're entitled to. And of course, there's no arguments, no disputes in the future. If the client isn't happy or if they do want a refund, you have communicated what the policy is to start with at the beginning, so there's no disputes there. I'd be careful with this though, because it's easy to go overboard with this and almost turn this into a contract style document. You don't want to do this, music can be a very casual thing and it needs to stay like that in my opinion. Make it fun, make it quirky, get all the information across, but don't take it too seriously. Don't word things too seriously, because that could turn off potential clients. Lastly, and a big one to do with your quote form, is credits. If you want crediting for your work, if you're recording or writing for somebody, then it's important you communicate your credits, what you want, where you want to appear, and how you want to appear on things. If you're not communicating that you want crediting for your work, then you can't just expect people to do it for you, especially now in the digital age where getting credits is harder than ever. You do need to communicate this at the start. Make sure it's in writing, in your quote form, that you want to be credited for your work. So all this information can easily be put across on a Word document, on a PDF. You can spend a few hours on this and you can still make it look pretty nice. Failing that, if you do want to go the extra mile, I suggest a website called betterproposals.io, which is a fantastic proposal building software which helps you build up a quote form where people can actually electronically sign and pay you through the software. It's all automated and it looks incredibly professional, which is going to help you land more projects from people that are asking you for quotes. If you click the link in the description, that's going to take you to go get a free trial with Better Proposals. So the second way you can be more efficient and get better reviews is through a pre-project form. So with your quote form, you have communicated everything you need to communicate to your client. You've said everything from your angle, all about what's included, what's not included, the scope of the project. You have included everything on there that you need to. Now, you need to give your clients a way to communicate their needs back to you, and the best way to do this is through a pre-project form. If you are spending lots of time emailing clients back and forth about their needs, about their wants, about what they want from a certain project, and you have to keep asking them about the project so you can deliver it well and meet their expectations, then this will be absolutely massive for you if you start implementing this into your business. It's going to be a huge time saver. It's going to be less hassle for your clients as well, having to constantly message you and give you more information. Essentially, it's a document that you send to your client just before the project, and this just gives them a few bullet points, a few things to answer about the project. So for example, when I edit drums for people, I send them a pre-project form and it asks them about the bit depth of the files, about the sample rate of the files, about the drum tones they want, about what kind of reverb they want, how hard they want the compression, any kind of EQ adjustments they want, if they want drum sample replacement. These are the sort of things you need to be asking on projects that you're working with. So these questions could be about people's musical preferences. If you're doing recording or writing for someone, it can be people's problem areas and things they're struggling with. If you're offering teaching to somebody, and if you're working live for somebody, it can be a questionnaire about what sort of gear you need, what the dress code is, and then you can get that information and you can essentially do your clients well by getting everything right first time and preventing that emailing back and forth to get things right. It all depends on what you offer, but just think about your project, think about what you need to know about each project in order to do it well, and then create a pre-project form with these questions on to give and send to your clients. Also, if you have a certain way you want to receive project files, if you have a certain way you want people to bounce things out and send them to you, then you can also include instructions on exactly how to do this for your clients to make it very easy for them. And also it gets you what you need first time round every time. Yet again, just like a quote form, this can very easily be made in Microsoft Word or Apple Pages. Just create a simple Word document and send it via email just before a project starts. So just to sum up then, the two simple ways that you can complete projects faster and make your clients happier are quote forms and pre-project forms. So that way you are communicating everything you want to communicate just before the project starts, and they're also communicating everything they want to communicate to you just before the project starts. So that communication is key in order to stop that emailing and messaging back and forth to get all that information across. These two very simple systems will help you do it straight away, and that'll cause you less stress, less headaches, it'll make you happier, and therefore it'll make you do a better job with your clients and make your clients happier too. Failure to do this is going to keep you stressed out and one day potentially really give you a bad name with a client, and one bad review can really damage your reputation. So it's important you do whatever you can to streamline your process, make it as simple for you and the client as possible, and keep organized.